Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Elise, and this is my mystical bookshelf. And today I have a very special video. It is my 50th video, and it's almost been a year since I've started my channel, and I kind of wanted to do I was looking through YouTube and looking at the Booktube side of YouTube, and I was looking at inspiration for a new video I could do, and I saw this book tag called the Newbie Booktube tag, and it's just like a list of questions that the YouTuber answers, and I thought it would be interesting to do that for my 50th video, and for it almost being a year since I've started my channel. And I just wanted to give you my thoughts about it. So let's start with the first question. And when I first started my YouTube channel, I did make a video explaining what my channel would be about, but I feel like things have changed. Because my first video that I made, I kind of said that I was going to try and talk about books and dolls, and I realized that I didn't like talking about dolls. I mean, I do love dolls, obviously, because my whole background is basically different dolls that I have collected over the span of 2 years. And but I just didn't enjoy opening them on camera. So I just want to remake that first video with these questions stating who I am, what's my channel about, what can you expect from me now going forward. So the first question is, why did I start YouTube? And I started YouTube, I've been wanting to make a booktube for so long, and I got inspired watching other YouTubers, and I was like, this looks like fun. I want to try doing it. So I just decided last year that I was really passionate. I mean, I've always been passionate about books. That's something that has been a part of my personality since I was a little girl. And it's something that in school, especially, if you saw me in school, I always had my head down and I was in a book. That's who I was. That's who I still am. So that's me. I'm the girl who doesn't like talking a whole lot. I'm the girl that is at a function and I'm reading. That's what I'm doing. So in class, before class started, or before the school day started, I was always the one girl with the book in her hand and just reading. And I wanted to share that joy I get from reading with YouTube. And I wanted to start talking about books more because I feel like I've never really had an outlet to talk about books until YouTube. I talk to my husband about what I read, and he's gracious and he listens to me, and I love him. I love that. I love him for that. But I just thought, why shouldn't I start a YouTube channel? I think I started it when I'm 28, so I started it when I was 27, I guess, yeah. And I'm just like, why shouldn't I start a YouTube channel? What makes me too old or not relevant enough or something like that? So I just was like, I was always scared about starting it because I'm really shy. Like I said, I'm the girl that has her head in a book constantly. I'm the girl that at the function, I'm not talking to anybody really. I'm in my own little world. I'm either reading or I'm people watching, and I'm just really shy. I'm very introverted. And I just thought, it's about time I started sharing my opinions on things. So I just thought, I'm just gonna put myself out there, and if it doesn't go well, then that's fine. I'm still gonna make videos. But, I mean, a year later, I have 24 subscribers, and my videos get a handful of views, and I'm gonna say I'm content with that for right now. I'm happy about that. I'm just happy that I have an outlet to finally talk to people, because I feel like I've spent so much time being quiet and not saying like what's on my mind and stuff. And I think it's about time I've shared my opinions. So I'm glad to share my opinions with you, even if nobody's really watching, even if you click on it and click away. That's fine. I'm just doing it more for myself. I started YouTube because I want to get my thoughts out there, even if nobody's listening. I just want to start talking more. That's basically what I started my YouTube for, is to read books that I like and maybe share them with you. And if you like them too, you can let me know. And so the next question is, what's unique about my takes on books? And I think when I first started, I didn't really know what was unique about my takes, but the more that I've read and the more that I'm growing, I'm learning that I have a very strong Catholic faith, and this is going to sound slightly unpopular, maybe, I don't know, but my takes, I want to read the books through a Christian lens. That's what I'm doing with my books normally. I'm reading it through the lens of a Christian woman, and I want to give you my takes on it and what I think it says about God, or about like the culture revolving faith. So I'm taking books and I'm reading them with this perspective, and I want to give you my thoughts about that. So like if I'm reading like The Mage's Influence, for example, I'm looking at Cadence and Zeke's relationship through the lens of God. And I'm seeing that and I'm like, wow, this is actually a really good portrayal of, like, I know they're not married yet, but it's a good portrayal of how I see the dynamic between a woman and a man, or like a husband and a wife. They kind of give me that certain dynamic. I see Cadence being submissive towards Zeke and listening to him, and I think that's great. I'm a big proponent of like viewing things through how my love of God affects me. So I think that's something that is unique, because I don't see a lot of people like reading books and then connecting them with their Christian views, or connecting them with God. And that is something that I want to start doing more. And I think what also makes my YouTube channel unique is like I'm talking about books that literally nobody's talking about. Like, I'm talking about books that are like really obscure. That's something that you can also find from my YouTube channel. I talk about like random little kid books, or like books that I just don't see that have a radar on the Booktube world. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've read books, or I've gone on Reddit and I've seen people talking like they say, I've read this book but nobody's talking about it. And it's like, well, good news for you, friend, because I'm probably going to talk about it. Because for me, I recently got the Libby app, and that is a library app if you don't know about it, and I would highly recommend using it. It connects with your local libraries in your state. So right now it's connecting me to every library in Tennessee, and I'm just scrolling and I'm like, if this sounds interesting, borrow. I'm just borrowing everything and I'm reading it, and maybe I like it, maybe I don't, but I'm going to give you my perspective on it. And even if it is the most obscure thing on the planet, like right now I'm listening to A Choice Considered, and that is, I had no idea what that was, but I clicked on it and it said it was a historical romance between Charlie and, this is also another thing that's unique to me. I read the books and I'm like, I can't tell you the character's name. I can tell you maybe one character's name, and that's about it. It is about Charlie and, oh my gosh, her name's on the tip of my tongue. What's her name? It'll come to me. But it's a historical romance, and it was like a Methodist perspective on that. So it's like really cool to see a different religion portrayed in a book, and how they talk about God all the time, and how they talk about Jesus being the Savior and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's great. I love reading this. It's so wholesome to me. Melody. Her name's Melody. It's about Charlie and Melody and how they come to find each other. And it kind of reminds me of When Calls the Heart. And I think it's the type of book that's not on everybody's radar, because I had never heard of it. But I went on Goodreads and it had like a really high rating, and I was like, oh, cool. Well, I'm going to borrow it, and I'm going to see what I think about it. And I think if you suggest me a book that you think nobody else has read, and I'll read it and I'll give you my perspective on it. So that's something that I'm going to bring a Christian point of view to the book world, and I'm bringing more obscure books to light. Because I think it's important not to just talk about the super popular books. It's also important to talk about the books that maybe you didn't think about, or maybe weren't on your radar at that particular moment. And the next question, what am I excited about? I am excited that I finally have an outlet to talk about books, because I've been wanting to do this for so long, but like I said, I felt scared. And I felt scared because I'm not used to sharing my opinions with the world, and I'm not used to putting myself out there, because I'm like super quiet. I'm very meek, modest. I'm not loud in any way, shape, or form. I can liken myself to like a mouse or a bunny. And I'm just excited that I found this new outlet for me to document my thoughts and feelings, and to share them with the world, if the world so chooses to listen to me. And if they don't, that's fine. I'm content with my 24 subscribers and my handful of views. But I'm excited to be here. I love YouTube. I love watching YouTube. I love books. And I'm excited to give you my perspective on things. And the next question is, why do I love reading? And I love reading because it takes you to a different place, and it helps you use your imagination, and it helps you see things in a different perspective. Like sometimes I read books and it's like some of them are really sad, and they help give me an emotional perspective on the world, or like they open up certain parts of my feelings that I forgot were even there, or like they make me feel empowered, or like not alone, or things like that. I love reading because it can take you to a different part of someone's mind. Like the author wrote this book because they had a strong conviction. And I think it's interesting reading their thoughts. And like, I love reading authors' notes, especially. Like, why did the author write this book? What was their calling? And I think it's really cool. Like, the author is putting themselves out there, writing this book. Maybe it'll get well received. Maybe it won't. Maybe a lot of people will read it. Maybe a lot of people won't read it. But I love reading because it gives you different takes on different people. And that's like, it helps me. I feel like it helps build empathy too. Like, you're reading a bunch of different perspectives from different people and different characters. And maybe the writer or maybe the author is writing from their experiences. And it's just really cool. And I love fantasy books too. Like, I'm recently getting into fantasy a lot. And I think fantasy is like one of the best parts of the reading community. It's so fun. And I get so tired of reading contemporary novels sometimes, because sometimes you just want to get away from everything. And fantasy is really something that's very comforting to me recently, as of late. And that is why I love reading. It just gives new perspectives, new ideas, new thoughts, and it helps you connect with people. And you can talk to people about this book. You can bring it up to your coworkers. You can talk to your family about it. Reading really brings people together, and I think that's beautiful. And that's like something that I love so much about reading, because it's like, as a kid, I felt lonely. I felt like I didn't have a lot of friends. I had some friends, but they weren't like super close. I really only have one close friend, and I'm still friends with her to this day because we met in middle school and we're still friends. But it's hard for me to connect with people sometimes, but reading helps me feel like I'm connecting with people more. Yeah, I don't know, that's basically why I love reading. And then the last question is, what series got me into reading? And I think I've said this before, but I will say it again, because I just love this book series so much. And this is going to be I'm going to make a part 2 for this book series. And The Click. The Click is really what got me very heavily into reading. That is a series I picked up when I was like 11, and it was just laugh out loud funny. I find the girls relatable in a weird way. Like, they're very rich, they're kind of snobby, they're kind of bratty, but it is really just a testament of girlhood. Like, The Click is, I find it relatable when their friendships fall apart and come back together. I find it relatable when they have crushes on someone and then they end up getting crushed. I find that very relatable because, I mean, through middle school, in high school, it was just like, it felt like a battlefield, and The Click really helped highlight that feeling because on a day-to-day basis, girls are very finicky. It's like they either like you one minute or they don't like you the next minute. And this series is so nostalgic and comforting for me. And I mean, I've read it so many times. It just brings me joy. And that's like the one series where that really helped me navigate my reading and what I like to read. And there's many other book series that I've read that I also really enjoy and really got me into reading, like the Files of Madison Finn. That's another book series that got me into reading. And I still haven't found it. I need to get on that because I want to reread it so bad, because that was one book series. It's like The Click. It's like you can just pick it up and it's like talking to an old friend. That's what it feels like when I reread books. It's like I remember all those nostalgic feelings that I had reading it. And I don't get that feeling very often when I read new books. Sometimes I do. Like, when I found the Mother-Daughter Book Club, for example, that came out the same time as The Click. But I didn't read it when I was a little girl. I picked it up when I was like 19. And I'm like, wow, I wish I would have found this when I was a kid, because it's the same as The Click, but it's on a different level. Like, the girls are kind of the same as the girls in The Click. They're very same in personality-wise, but the setting is much more relatable to a middle-class working girl or working family, and it's much more attainable for a girl to picture herself in the Mother-Daughter Book Club than it is for a girl to picture herself in The Click. So I'm just always open to books that I've never heard of. I try to keep an open mind and not judge books too harshly sometimes. And that, I don't know, getting into reading is like going down the best rabbit hole. That's what it feels like. And that's basically the synopsis of Elise's Mystical Bookshelf. You're going to find Christian points of view here. You're going to find obscure books. You're going to find all sorts of books. You're going to find kids' books, horror, dark academia, fantasy. I'm going to read everything. I might read nonfiction at some point. That's one book genre that I haven't gotten into as heavily as I should. Because I don't know if I've even ever read a nonfiction book. That feels weird to say, but because I do want to read some memoirs. Memoirs are very interesting to me. I would love to read Jeanette McCurdy's memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died. I think that would be really good. I've heard good things about that. I want to listen to audiobook of that particularly because I know she narrates it, and I loved iCarly as a kid. So like reading or listening to her perspective and like what she went through would be really cool. So I'm going to start, I'm reading all genres. I'm going to pick up nonfiction at some point. I'm going to make nonfiction videos more. I'm going to look for memoirs. That's going to be my thing. But for me, it's like if you want me to read something, just recommend it to me in the comments. Even if it's like super obscure, you think I might not like it, I'm going to still give it a chance. I'm trying to be very open-minded with my reading now. And yeah, so that's basically the synopsis of Elise's Mystical Bookshelf. And I also have an Instagram if you want to find me there. It's called @Elise's Mystical Bookshelf. And I haven't made posts in a very long time, so I'm going to try and do better doing that. The social media aspect of YouTube is kind of hard for me because taking pictures of my books is like, sometimes I forget, sometimes I get too busy, but I know social media is helpful in building a YouTube following, so check me out there if you want to see some more content. But that is my 50th video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. I'm enjoying this journey with all of you, and I hope that this video gives you a better perspective of who I am, of who Elise is in Elise's Mystical Bookshelf. And until next time, friends, goodbye!